almost as like a continuation of the warm-up, is our C-walk leg drag drill. I'll borrow Ryan for this one. What I'm gonna do, we got the guy straight here. I'm gonna walk up to him, 2 hands on one leg, boom. So I've got my left hand just kind of posted on the knee. That's where most of my weight is located. My right hand, my top hand makes a C grip right here. I'm gonna dip my shoulder and then start walking myself to shelving both of his legs here on the side. Okay, this is a nice angle. He's gonna try to square up, and I'm gonna move back and then put my hand on the other side of the leg. Again, going to the ankle, C grip. Now you walk him on the outside of the legs. Looks like 2 legs are loaded on one side. This is gonna give me passing options in this direction. As he squares up, we move to the other side, we C grip walk, boom, right? And you kind of develop this little flow. Right? And then down. Check it out. Here. Left hand, so it's the same. Yeah, the left hand goes here, and you go ankle, right? Now I bring my neck to him. Okay. Now look, my hand goes here, I walk him down and back up.
Okay. You want to put your foot in that pocket right here. Right?
Yep. It's just an exercise. Right? Here, all your weight goes here in this hand. So you have on 2 feet. Yeah, you never go to a knee. You never. This leg drag walk is super useful and like kind of actually hard to do well, I feel like. If I do it again on Ryan, I'm going to show you what I'm looking for, right? So you have the guard. Like, the whole thing from here is like I want to get around his legs and pin him chest to chest. It's hard to do if you just straight approach this person like square on. Like I'm almost like in the danger zone. This is cool. I don't want to be bracketed ever, right? I don't want to be bracketed in between his legs. That sucks, okay? So let's maintain, this is like outside passing, right? Outside passing. So the first thing I'd like to do is just kind of get some sort of an angle that he'd have to respond to. Like if I go over here, just look how he starts holding his body. This is different. My left hand stays, my right hand goes here, and I'm doing all this to keep him loaded on this side, and I stay mobile going over here, okay? Now I have the 2 knees shelved on one side. This position will change, like, you can expect a lot of different things to happen. Here's the most common, right? I would usually like knee tap here, like boom, boom, and start trying to go knee on belly. That's cool. You could go, he tries to start facing you, you drop into a position like this where you can Toriano through it. That's really nice. You could start, for example, dropping in to like these types of positions, but then you start coming back around the corner, okay? The reason that we started with that is number 1, I just think it's a very useful exercise, but number 2, we're gonna duck under again today, and it's like this recurring theme I want you to see of loading 2 legs on one side of your body. It's a advantage position. Anytime outside of my body, double lassos, right? He wants to live in worlds like this, okay? So I want to live in worlds where we have like these types of situations, okay? How can you create that? Well, let's say he's playing De La Hiva, for example, okay? It's a common scenario. He's holding my pants, holding my collar. I'm gonna make a grip in the knee. I have to beat this hook. This is the defining position. Like De La Hiva is just really referring to this leg configuration. I want to beat that, right? And I don't want to be right over him where he can lift me up. Well, probably not. So we back up here, pop the hook out, and start going towards it. Now look, there's a hole here. My elbow slipped under. I can shoot to this position, okay? Once you guys get to here, it literally can sometimes just be as easy as sucking this hip in and like rounding the corner aggressively, like so, okay? One of the things that Ryan might try to do in that moment is turtle away from me. As I'm going here, right? See, he's turtling. That's not the end of the world, but it's a little annoying and it does avoid score, okay? So how do you beat the turtle? Well, a far side collar grip will do, okay? So you can be here, be here. I have to back up a little bit so you can't just lift me up. We start popping the hooks out, opening his legs. I created a hole. I shoot together. Boom. Now while you're here, let's go left hand, start searching for this grip. Now when he goes to turtle, it's challenging, right? And we're able to just pass the guard directly, okay? We'll start off with this being our entry. We're in our that could be nice. Oh, welcome. Does that make sense, guys? Put it down here. Jerry. Here. Try to act like don't before you get in. Go spider lasso. I'm imagining something like this, right? Like what if I start sitting down right here? I gotta start taking this out. The only reason I took him to not mess with him at all was because I couldn't get close to this side. So now the knee starts like negotiating this guy out. Yeah, so if you probably do is you probably keep your sleeve and then just take this out, right? If I started really bothering you here, like it's like okay, now he doesn't like that, right? So then as soon as I get some space, now it's time. You know what I mean? Even if I was playing with Trevor and like hit the sleeve here, hit the spider. Even if like you're here and he's got weak control on this side, I think you can just go here. And I think that grip would fall apart. You know what I mean? I would get, if your plan is to duck under it, I would get low to the leg. That way like you're so close when you go, it's just, you're right there. If I started up here, I have to go so far before he reads it. So get close to it and act dumb, and then
kind of finding like posture is almost more important than like the whole fall to the side.
this is like if you've ever trained with Ryan, you might have lived here before, okay? What you should do, anytime someone's holding your sleeves, you should, as a general rule of thumb, anchor your hands to something, right? It's not, just go double spider, like here. We can't, and then I start going like, we can't live in a world where he's just like throwing me around and my hands aren't anchored to anything. So now he goes back spider lasso, like the real platform, and I anchor my left hand to his pant, my right hand to his collar, and I start getting close to everything, okay? Even if that puts inside, you can tuck him in, here, boom. You have to anchor so you can start squatting, and then the hook gets lower. I can start using my knee and I can turn here. The turn helps. Like if he's here, hard to take this out. But if I spin us here, then I can start using my knee, and he doesn't even like this anymore. Like this hurts. Yeah, and so I think that you might take it out, you know what I mean? Or, like I can make space for him to take it out. You start negotiating this higher, and then now I'm back here, right? So it's like this process of taking the lasso out, right? It's not so easy to do. It's easier for us if he's in this, like, this triangle, this lasso should tell you that he wants to shoot triangles or convert back to De La Hiva quickly. That's why he wouldn't put his foot in. Like, I'm gonna go artificially down to 2 knees, just so I can talk. If I'm here, he can shoot anytime. Shoot. The other reason the guys would have that foot there is because look, he plays outside hook on my shoulder, now he plays outside hook against my leg. Right? So he's really just using outside hook with his left leg, right? He goes back to the lasso. So a guy that is like putting it just a shallow like this is telling you it's transient anyway, right? If he tucks his foot, he wants to keep it, right? He intends to play here for a long period of time. The other one is like not so long period. So you need to get here, and you need to start smashing this down, and it's kind of like I can move my body to start taking it out, okay? Now, we load everything on this side. I feel very comfortable opening, look, I don't have my elbow underneath his knee, or underneath his ankle, he's connected. Now, I'm gonna make this move here, and then use the neck pressure to start taking it off. Now, when we get here, like, move a little bit, try to reset yourself. It sucks, right? And like, you have the classic left hand in the collar, walk to the side, or you can start backstepping into the negative space. I thought that was pretty good. You did that one. Boom. Now as you raise this, look, he's in. And I can't, now, what am I gonna push with? I can't push with my feet, he's past. He's past the line of my knees. I only have my hands, and my hands are not good to fight this for long periods of time. Go ahead and finish the pass any way that makes sense to you. Boom, he back steps into the negative space, and then now I'm getting busted up here, okay? It's just another example of like what this type of position can give you, right? Now look, I can start negotiating this lasso out and walking so he's stacked up here. You have to be careful that you don't get so like cocky in this position, like arc sweep me to mooring. Whap, right? That would be dumb, okay? Can't let that happen, but you should be able to base in such a way, arc sweep me, it's hard, right? Because I'm sitting back here. I'm not sitting on his hook like ready to get spider swept. I'm sitting like back here. Now it's like I lift, surprise, boom, we're here. Pants slip. Do this, behind you. Something like this, right? Play with this idea, starting off in double sweep. 1, 2, 3. Drop. Boom, right? Because now it's like here. Now you start bullying that lasso out with your knee. So your right knee is bullying. Yes, here, now get your shoulder under it. Look, lift your right elbow. Lift your right elbow up. Look how it's, look, you can get in that space. Here, get under. Boom, now start walking your leg in that position. Backing it up. You're not shooting up.
Right, but you're going to have to down.
Look, this is bad for me. You know what I mean? Like, look, get the collar. Put this hand in my pants. Look at my butt grip. The drawstring on the back. Here, straight, just flip him and deadlift him. You can do that, or you can just stand up and push up.
Right?
And then we run behind him. You know what I mean? Do something like that. You make the spider last on me. Big breath.
Yeah, using your knee to open that up, that seemed to be a little difficult at times.
Yeah. I'll do it to you, and then it's not like an exact science. It's a feel thing, and so the more you do it, the better you get at it. But let's say you got double sleeve, right? So here, take this one out, and then lace that foot through, go under my armpit. Good, okay? So the first thing I'd like to do is to be able to compress the springs a little bit and get access to the material. Because now I feel like nothing crazy is going to happen. Now I kind of want to like back up, and then I start putting my knee. Ooh, you see how you don't like that, right? But now, so you can do one of two things. You can either go all the way on your right hip and then tuck it deeper. You see how you did that?
Okay.
Now get deeper with the foot. You see how now it's like it's more challenging, right? So then I need to walk and get back to that scenario, right? Now see how I get my elbow underneath your ankle. Now we're here, I can replace it with my foot and then pop in. Hello. You know what I mean? And now, so you have that. If that happens, look, all I'm gonna do is fall. It cleared itself. But if I needed more time here, I'd fall to this, because now my hip is so close, or your hip is so close to my chest, right? So if it got weird, like, I would fall down on purpose, bless you, so I couldn't fall down on accident, right? If I got the sense I was gonna fall, I like to fall early, because at least I can control the fall, right? Now we're here, we can rebuild and start rounding the corner. That's good. And that just takes a little bit of experience, understanding how sideways, so most people can see, okay? You're here. First thing I need to do, Ryan wants to attach our chests, right? Bring me close to you, get an overhook. Boom, when he starts getting this type of guard, like now it's gonna be so hard for me to leave, okay? You can't go deeper into the closed guard to pass. I have to pull out of this, right? So when he attaches our chest, it's strong. The next thing he would do if he couldn't bring me down is he would sit up to me, right? So he's getting like a hip bump type look, or starts getting this, yeah, boom, just running me over. So he wanted to play a game based on chest attachment. Yeah, that's the most conservative thing that he can do, right? There's other things, but it's like, there's risk. The best thing he could do would be attach our chest if he really wanted to keep this, okay? So I need a barrier between us two, okay? So he doesn't keep me for long periods of time. So now, when he tries to connect our chests, go ahead, it's challenging, right? Because I've just made grips in the fabric, and then my knuckles are in his armpits, okay? I need to increase the space between his groin and my stomach. So we do that by wiggling backwards, right? Now there's a gap there. I can pop up, and look, I put my chest on my own knee, and I sit backwards. Now the legs start to open. He's gonna do what he should do and bring his knees to his chest, right? And that puts us in a similar situation. Start getting ready to do our duck under work, okay? We stay balled up and close to him in that way. He's never gonna stay with extended legs. He's always gonna bring his legs back, because look, if his legs are straight, here, side control exists. But if he balls up, even if I'm on the side, there's no side control. So he'll always re-ball, okay? Now I'll do this a couple times, and I'll let you guys play with it as our last technique. Inside, I shuffle, get to here, and then now from here you can start doing all of our good work. Back stepping, right? Rounding the corner, deadlifting off the pants, falling into berimbolo passes, right? This is the thought here. Questions? The big thing, right? If you cannot do this, okay, or like if you try to put your knee in the middle and it's not working, ask yourself this. Is your foot flat, directly on top of ankle? And then, is my chest in contact with my thigh, right? Now the back leg collapses, you negotiate opening backwards. You really don't go forward to pass a closed guard, or like a 50-50 for that matter. A lot of different, like these like very connected guards, you have to go back in order to come forward, right? That's the nature of the trap. We'll play this for a 7, and then that'll put us in time for just a bunch of sparring. Right? 2, 3.